This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And good evening, everyone. And yes, it is evening here at Sapulpa High School, where the Carl Albert Titans are about to begin their defense of their state championship. Actually, they've won the last two state championships, and they are back, and they will be challenged this evening by the Pryor Tigers. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Jordan Ray. Happy to be joined by Kirk Norman. All right, Kirk, I mentioned something last week for Carl Albert. Was heading into this season with all the seniors they had last year, was it a rebuild or a reload? They showed in district play, finishing tied for first. They showed in their regional championship that it's a reload for them. But now they get into the round where they have to beat teams that are just as good as them.
That's right. And so as we come up on that, you're looking at the opponents. Everybody gets better. There's no bad teams here. We saw that come about today. We got here early enough to watch the Noble and Claremore game. Noble, who we would not assume to be a powerhouse, came in here, knocked out Claremore 10-3, moved on to the semifinals. And then Elgin going up against Bishop Kelly. Bishop Kelly, a perennially good team. And Elgin comes in. They get on a streak. They beat Bishop Kelly 10-4. So tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, Noble and Elgin come together. Is it a rebuild? Yes. It's a rebuild in regard to these are all new players. Some of them play them in different positions. But is it nothing more than a reload? You've got great coaches. You've got wonderful guys that are battle-tested, that played their freshman, their sophomore, and their junior year. Now they're here as seniors, and we're going to see what they can do tonight against a good Pryor squad.
Yeah, you heard that right, folks. Elgin won a game earlier on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Please go watch the playback. Kirk got to do play-by-play for that. It was great. And their game tomorrow will be on the Oklahoma Sports Network at 11 a.m. against Noble. Will Carl Albert follow them or not? We'll find that out in a few. We also want to announce that congratulations to the Bethany Broncos. They're in the Oklahoma Sports Network family, and they won 4-0 earlier against Elk City in 4A. That's taking place at Norman North High School. And later tonight, we'll have the Newcastle Racers, and they're expected to be loaded this time around in the state championship or state tournament. They'll take on Salisaw later this evening, so we could have a lot of good baseball for you tomorrow. But back to Carl Albert. I got to talk yesterday with their head coach, Ryan Whiteley, and you're going to see that interview just in a minute here. You are watching Carl Albert Titans State Championship Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
we're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits!
What a burger!
Okay, happy to be joined with Carl Albert head coach Ryan Whiteley. Coach, I want to ask you this. Heading into your regional against Slaughter MacArthur, and I did mention this when I interviewed you, but I want to ask you a bit more about this, is that, last year's team, they didn't lose a game since the last loss was early April.
Right.
This year's team, you have a very tough schedule at the end of the regular season, and so you lose about 5 out of 7 there. Was there anything about that was, I don't know, a bit frustrating as a coach, or were you like, hey, this is a tough schedule, this is good for us, or what was your mentality during that stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you get, I think it was our last 7, we dropped 5 of those. I mean, I think you can always kind of have a little frustration kind of come into play. And that's, kind of what I told the guys is let the coaches take on the frustration, and you guys just keep playing ball, and we'll figure it out. And, I think offensively in the regional, I think we, tried to use the small ball game a little bit more. And, I think that helped us out a little bit. And, but we just kind of then that little stretch there of at the end of the season just kind of were not really, I wouldn't say struggling offensively. It was just we were having a hard time producing runs.
And is that what led to your decision to bunt a bit? I think it was more than I was used to seeing. Was that a strategy mainly for Lawton MacArthur, or is that something we might see more of?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it had to do, strategizing for them, and also just for us, just making sure that we tried to put pressure on the defense, and we knew we'd be able to do that with the bunt game. We're pretty athletic in the lineup, got some guys that can run a little bit, so just trying to use that to put some pressure on some guys.
I want to ask you about one of your players, and we actually talked about him before we were recording this, and that's Nate Dellenplank. What's interesting about him is he played for Edmond Santa Fe last year. I didn't even realize that till recently. So he's a move-in that has experience, but he's new to your program, new to your culture. What has it been like with him? I know he plays different positions in the field. He bats in the middle of the batting order. What can you say about him that's helped his program?
Oh, I think he's done an outstanding job of, coming in as a senior and just kind of fitting right in, and hadn't really missed a beat. I don't feel like, like you said, he'll go and do anything on the field you need him to do. We use him at third, some at short, put him in the outfield. So he just kind of all over the place, just kind of wherever we need him. But no, he's fit in great, and we've enjoyed having him.
And again, we also didn't talk a whole lot about Declan, but he's your most experienced player, and I know we'll see him at some point in this state tournament if you guys keep advancing. What have you seen him improve on as far as from like a couple years ago to now? Because he's again, he's your most experienced player. He pitched in the state title game as a sophomore. How have you seen him grow the last couple years?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Declan's got a lot of really good experience, and just pitching in big games throughout his career here, and playing in big games too, whether it been pitching or just playing in the field and hitting. But, I think that's kind of led to him to, kind of be a guy that is, never going to waver with confidence. He's gonna stay on it. It's kind of turned into a pretty good leadership role for us. Just one of those guys that, you know what you're going to get from him when you put him out there, and he's going to give you everything he's got. But, this year, offensively, he's kind of been down a little bit than he was, last year. But, again, just the way he's handled it, the way he's gone through it, as you wouldn't even know, and I think that contributes a lot to him just taking over that leadership type role for the team, and just having those big game experiences as an underclassman.
Yeah, I know the toughest thing about using him as a pitcher is you got to take him away from being a shortstop.
Yeah.
What can you say about Pryor?
Just kind of looking at him, really. I mean, it's hard to know, really, just because we don't really get to see much of Pryor. Just they're way up there on the other side of Tulsa, so we don't ever really get to run into them in the season at all. But just kind of trying to find out what I can. They sound pretty similar to what we are. It seems like they're going to rely on their pitchers to throw strikes and not walk anybody and let their defense make plays behind them. And, seems like they can, swing it pretty well 1 through 9. Doesn't look like they strike out a whole lot. They're going to put the ball in play. So we're just going to have to go at them and challenge them early. And, our defense is going to have to make plays behind us.
All right, Coach, we look forward to seeing how that goes. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, appreciate it.
And we're back with Carl Albert Titan State Championship Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're really close to starting here, so let's quickly go over the Piedmont Pryor lineup. Riley Hurst leads off. Gavin Roberts will bat second. We'll give the rest of the lineup here in a moment, but we're going to go and get started with Riley Hurst. All right, Kirk. Mason Avery on the mound, and he's gotten a lot of big game experience these last couple seasons.
Absolutely. That one looked good, but they're going to call that a ball.
It just missed. Mason Avery, what's interesting here is this is the first time we've had one of his games on the Oklahoma Sports Network where he will not be DH'd for. He's going to be batting this game, too. That pitch misses outside, ball 2. And we apologize, we have a scoreboard problem, but we'll try to get that fixed here.
Strike.
2-0 is called to strike.
You know, in the last game, Jordan, we had an umpire that was kind of given that outside of the plate. But here, I'm not sure that one that we thought was a strike. Maybe it was low, maybe it was high. I'm not really sure. That one's going to go down to third base. Picked up there.
Good play by Bo Davis to Jordan Hawkins for out number 1. And coming up next will be Gavin Roberts for Pryor. Pryor called the Tigers.
Now batting for Pryor, number 3, Gavin Roberts.
So we have one out here.
All right, this brings up Gavin Roberts, the shortstop for Pryor. One away. 5-3 out there.
And here comes the 0-0 pitch from Avery. That is low, ball 1. Mason pitched in the semifinals last year against Collinsville and went the distance and got the victory. And he's been riding a wave of confidence ever since. 1-0 pitch, chopped to third. There's Bo Davis again. Another good throw to Jordan Hawkins, and we have 2 away here in the top of the first inning.
5-3. Again, great job there by Bo Davis just to play that. This is a brand new field here at Sapulpa, and gets good bounces off this turf. And so if the ball is hit crisp, it's going to bounce well. And you're seeing the advantage of that for Bo Davis, picking those up, making the throw, and a great job. 2 down.
Clinton Stoller, the batter. That pitch catches the strike zone. First called strike. Stoller, the catcher for the Tigers. Avery may have found something with that last pitch. Let's see, he goes back there, but this will be grounded right to Declan Murphy. Throw to Hawkins, and Kirk, that was about 6 pitches, was it?
That was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 7 pitches total.
Well, you will take that. So a good start for Mason Avery, one of the most experienced players the Titans have. All right, we will revisit the top of the inning order here for Pryor, but let's go ahead and show you how things will look at the bottom of the order with the Carl Albert Titan lineup. So leading off, again, is Boston Hollins in right field. Jordan Hawkins batting second, playing first base. Nate Dellenplank will DH this game and bat third. Bo Davis batting cleanup at third base. Devontae Jones bats fifth, plays center field. Declan Murphy bats sixth and is at shortstop. Mason Avery, the pitcher, will be batting seventh. Jackson Webster in left field batting eighth. And Lane Sexton batting ninth, playing second base. All right, let's go ahead and bring up the Pryor fielders for you. And it'll look something like this. In left through right field, we have Riley Hurst, Talon Foster, Brock Ward. The infielders from left to right, Sergio Banulos at third base, Gavin Roberts at shortstop, Trace Howard, second baseman Carter Sloan is at first, and the battery for the Pryor Tigers, Clinton Stoller. The catcher and pitching for Pryor is Jaron Bailey. I'll remind you that the bottom of each inning here for Middale Baseball is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, as they're located in Dell City, 5500 Tinker Diagonal. We thank them for being a sponsor in all sports this year. So we'll definitely keep a close eye on this pitcher for Pryor, this being Bailey, and see how he's going to challenge the Titans. Boston Holland, of course, will lead off. He's come up here in a second, and he got moved to the top of the order. There were some regular season games we had in the Oklahoma Sports Network where he was batting ninth, but Coach Whiteley liked how he did. He has batted leadoff apparently in other parts of the season, and he had a very good regional.
Leading off for Carl with the bottom of the first. Number 5, Boston Holland.
So here we go, ready to start the bottom of the first inning. And here's the first pitch. Holland takes high, ball 1.
That one was just a little high, right up about the numbers. That was a little outside.
That pitch, yeah. So good patience there for Boston. Younger brother of Jackson Holland, pivotal member of the Carl Albert Titan 2021 state championship team.
Right.
And that ball is laced to left field.
Out to left, going to make it all the way back to the wall.
It's going to be caught. Hurst brings it in for out number 1, but I was impressed with that power display there by Boston. And even though that's an out, you figure that's going to give him some confidence for his next at bat.
Absolutely.
Here comes the switch hitting first baseman Jordan Hawkins. Got moved down to the second spot in the order, but he'll do well for you any part of the batting order.
Great runner when he gets on base as well.
Yeah, such a great fielder too. Probably could play a lot of infield positions. Takes the ball there. Right now Bailey working fast. That misses high, 2-0. Pryor won their district. That's District 4 in 5A. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 1. Last year, Pryor finished second in their district, hosted a regional, and lost. This year, they've won. That count goes 3-1. Beating Booker T twice. And here they are. 3-1 delivery, and Jordan Hawkins draws a walk. And we're going to see, Kirk, what type of pressure they try to put on the base pass with fast runners like Jordan.
Absolutely. Well, you've got that ability. I mean, 1 out, we can go a little small ball if we want to. You've got Jordan Hawkins who can absolutely tear up the field as far as speed goes. He's going to get out there.
Here's Nate Dellenplank, transfer from Edmond Santa Fe. Takes strike 1. First time we see a first pitch strike from Bailey. Jordan had quite a lead but did not go anywhere. At some point you think he's going to run this inning.
Yeah, you kind of think so.
That ball is
puts one up high. That's going to send Jordan back.
And looks like that's going to be taken by the center fielder. Good play by Talon Foster for out number 2. And next up for the Titans is their cleanup hitter, only a sophomore, Bo Davis.
You know, Bo's had a great year this year. And just a guy that can really put the bat on the ball.
Here's the first pitch to Bo Davis. And there goes Jordan Hawkins. And the throw, it's going to be close, and they got him.
That's the third out.
Great throw there from Clinton Stoller. And it'll end up being a 1-2-3 inning for the Titans. Okay, so we got on a little late with that coach's interview. They started the game a tiny bit early, but probably didn't manage the time the best here. So here is the Pryor lineup. Well, we've already seen 3 of them, but we'll go over the rest of them. So Hurst, Roberts, Stoller are the first 3 batters. The cleanup hitter for Pryor is Brock Ward, Sergio Bonulos, bats fifth. At third base, Carter Sloan bats sixth. At first base, Jared Bailey, the pitcher, bats seventh. Trace Crawford will bat eighth. At second base, Talon Foster, the center fielder, bats ninth. As for the Titan fielders, it looks something like this. So you see from left to right, Jackson Webster, Devontae Jones, Boston Hall, and that's the outfield, of course. The infield for the Titans, Bo Davis at third, Declan Murphy at short, Lane Sexton at second. Jordan Hawkins is the first baseman in the battery for Carl Albert. Jason Purcell, is the catcher, and we talked about him already, Mason Avery, the pitcher. And it's expected at some point that Mason will be catching in this tournament if Carl Alberts continues their season. Every top of the inning, of course, brought to you by Confidence Buick Chevrolet. And here comes the cleanup hitter for Pryor, Brock Ward. Avery's first pitch misses, ball one.
What a picture-perfect throw by the catcher to end that inning, Dave, and get him out at second.
So count goes 1-0.
And we don't see Hawkins get out.
That pitch is inside, ball two.
That's going to bring up Ward, who bats cleanup, to lead us off here in the top of the second.
See what Mason does with a 2-0 pitch. Now he's got to throw a strike. Catches the strike zone there, and it's strike one. He is deliberate right now, Kirk.
He is.
Comes the 2-1 pitch, that misses, and it's ball three. As Pryor looks for their first base runner. Confident Chevrolet, again, our top of the inning sponsor. They're located 6100 Tinker Diagonal in Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender. So here's the 3-1 pitch from Mason, and that catches the outside corner, strike two.
Mason's doing a good job at just keeping these guys off balance. So here we are at a full count.
Will be a walk, a strikeout, or something else. It will be a strikeout. That may have been foul tipped, but either way, it's a strikeout. It's a Patrick Newby strikeout. We thank Patrick Newby for being the strikeout sponsor this year. And we have one out here in the top of the second inning.
That's Mason's first K of the game. And so far, everything is holding true. 3 up, 3 down in the first. First batter up, strikeout.
Sergio Benulos, and he sends one to left field. Coming on is Jackson Webster, who gets under it easily. No problem there. That's a first pitch out, too, after a longer at-bat, the previous at-bat. So those things kind of evening out there, and we got now a quick second out.
Number 5, Carter Sloan.
Carter Sloan up to bat now. He's the first baseman for Pryor. For the most part, Mason Avery has pitched well to contact. It's 4 of his 5 outs and 1 other strikeout. That pitch outside. Ball one. Comes the 1-0 pitch. That gets in there, strike one. 1-1 now the count. But you can see Kirky's going outside than inside.
That's right.
Mix them up well. One count, swung on and missed, strike two. And Avery's a strike away from getting out of this inning with no problems. And the count 1-2. And here we go. That pitch way outside. Count evens out now 2-2.
That was kind of an intentional setup there to go ahead and go outside. And, you could actually see.
Let's see where he goes now, 2-2. If he goes back inside, he does,
There's
and he gets the strikeout.
Slider, he got it. K number 2 for Avery.
We're going to show you this on our Triple Elite screen printing instant replay. Triple Elite screen printing, Find world-class design and hot new styles. We thank them for being our instant replay sponsor for Middale Baseball. We're going to take our first break of the game. You are watching Carl Albert Titans State Championship Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
We're now at the bottom of the second inning here at Sapulpa High School. And it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitter due up for Carl Albert. Bo Davis, followed by Devontae Jones, Declan Murphy. Go ahead.
And you'll remember Bo Davis was at the plate, but then with the throw out to second, he puts him back at the plate again.
That's a Bobby Lewis foul ball. All foul balls for Middale Baseball brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates, 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and in Dell City. And the count will go 0-1 to Bo. He turns on that one and turns it foul.
That was very close, though. Another Bobby Lewis Insurance foul ball, but very close to that bag. And he brought that in. He would have still been running.
Well, we've seen a couple of hard hit balls for Carl Albert. The 0-2 pitch. Takes high ball 1. Titans, of course, they were challenged in both of their games in the first round the last 2 years. And swung on and missed, strike 3. Looked like Bailey took something off that pitch. And that is a Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance strikeout.
First strikeout there for Jaron Bailey from Pryor.
Now batting number 8, Devontae Jones.
So the 5th place hitter for Carl Albert, Devontae Jones. Now he's one of the few players in the lineup that has state tournament experience. He was a starting center fielder on all the teams from last year. He hits that one in foul territory. He'll go past the Pryor dugout and now to play for a Bobby Lewis foul ball on strike 1. So here's the 0-1 delivery. Jones puts that one in play, but it'll be an easy play for the left fielder for Pryor. That's Riley Hurston, out number 2.
So people are actually getting a part of the ball, but that's just a fly out there to left field.
Here's the most experienced player for Carl Albert, Declan Murphy, who's been playing a pivotal role for this team since he was a sophomore. Batting 6th here, playing shortstop. Murphy lines one, but it's caught by the third baseman, Banulos. And just like that, it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Titans. This game's gone by pretty quickly, and it remains tied at 0. We're heading to the 3rd inning right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
I'm so hungry I can eat all the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm gonna need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Championship Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray and Kirk Norman. We're now at the top of the third inning. Brought to you by Confidence Chevrolet. For Pryor, they're going to bring up their pitcher, Jared Bailey. They've only had one base runner so far. He got canceled out by a caught stealing. Otherwise, the pitchers have done their job.
3 up, 3 down, both innings.
Avery again finds that outside corner for strike one.
Caught that outside.
Purcell sent up outside. That pitch is popped up. Purcell doesn't have to move very much, and he will catch that pop fly. And there's a 2-pitch out for Mason. At this rate, these pitchers can go 10 or 12 innings. 2 up next for Pryor is second baseman Trace Crawford. That one is lined, and Murphy's able to stab it. Can he get the throw off? He can.
And he got it. Great job by Declan Murphy.
Yeah, I didn't think he had it, Kirk. He surprised me, and I shouldn't have been surprised. Both on the dive, the gather, and the throw.
6-3 out, and just a beautiful throw over there just in time. Great job also by Jordan Hawkins, leaning way off the bag. Nice stretch.
Ninth place hitter now, Talon Foster, center fielder. See. First pitch, called a strike. Mason Avery could make this less than a 10-pitch inning here.
Yeah.
That pitch misses outside, evening the count 1-1. We're going to remember that play by Declan. That was
absolutely.
My thought was if he got on the ball, which he did, he wouldn't be able to get up and get a throw off in time. But I was wrong. That one is turned on but foul.
Bobby Lewis insurance foul,
which will make the count 1-2.
The big strike's what it is.
That's right. And now Mason Avery's a strike away from another quick inning.
I don't know if you can see it on the screen because there's a little bit of a blockage. This guy keeps his hands way out in front. This Talon Foster, the batter, keeps his hands way out in front. And so for him to take a good swing, he's actually got to move his hands from where they are, come back, and then swing. Something I'm sure they're probably working on.
We'll see how he does then with this 2-2 count. That one is lined to Sexton. Lane Sexton gets up. His throw to Jordan Hawkins is there. And, Kirk, the first 2 games today went long, so these teams are kind of evening that out at the moment.
They are taking care of it.
Yep.
We just now got through the lineup, and 3 innings, the top of 3 are down.
We'll see the bottom of the lineup for Carl Albert here in a moment. You're watching Carl Albert Titans State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm gonna need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Back we are here, bottom of the third inning, in this battle between Carl Albert and Pryor. Mason Avery digs in, takes a strike. Now, this is interesting, Kirk, that Mason usually does not hit, or hasn't been in a lot of games we've seen when he's been pitching, but Coach White decided to leave him in the lineup here.
Well, he's pretty valuable at the plate.
This falls behind the count here, 0-2.
Now he's got to protect a little bit.
Good eye there. Takes the outside ball. Count goes 1-2. Again, the Buffalo Wild Wings, bottom of the third inning. Today, if you're watching from the Metro, go there. It's buy one, get one.
Oh.
That gets the high part of the strike zone, and it's called strike 3. Second strikeout for Bailey. That's another Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance strikeout. And one away. Here comes Jackson Webster. Jackson Webster had a very good regional last week. Webster lines it opposite field to the second baseman, but he's there for an easy field and a throw. Trace Crawford to Carter Sloan, and we have 2 away.
Took that first pitch, it was there, and grounded out to second.
So here is
Lane Sexton.
Lane Sexton, and we're looking in the wrong order here, but first at bat for him. As he takes a strike, so we have not seen a batter come up for the second time yet.
Nope.
That's going to change eventually, but it's been a while because of how good these pitchers have been. As Bailey gets ahead with a swing and a miss, now 0-2.
Yeah, it's going to change this next inning, at the top of this next inning, because that's 3 up, 3 down through the entire lineup.
That was close. You think about the strikeout to Avery. That was a tough one to take, but Lane was correct to take it. And the count goes 1-2. That one misses low. And Lane Sexton works the count even now, 2-2. Swung on and missed on the breaking ball. That is another Patrick Newby strikeout.
Third strikeout of the day there for Jaron Bailey. And we've gotten through 3 innings all the way, and we've only had one base runner who was thrown out on his way to second.
All right, we'll head to the top of the fourth now. 0-0 right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Championship Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Here's the
top of the fourth inning. Confidence Chevrolet is sponsoring the top of the fourth.
That one is laced for the first base hit of the game. And first base hit for Pryor. That is Riley Hurst. And he has wheels as he gets to second. Boy, he can fly. And first time we'll have a runner in scoring position. But that's what the hitters have to do. They got to go after that first pitch.
Well, that was definitely a well-hit ball for that double. Second time to see Avery.
Up to Gavin Roberts will have the first crack at getting the game's first run.
So that double gets hit out to left center field. Maybe they've all had an opportunity to talk.
First pitch strike again. He's been getting that outside strike a lot on that first pitch. And that's what he needs to do, work ahead. Wouldn't be surprised if at some point Hurst takes off, but probably not in this at bat. Oh, 0-1 delivery, misses outside. Now count goes 1-1. And it was 3 up, 3 down 6 times the first 3 innings, both top of an inning and bottom. Doesn't look like it'll be the case here. They throw back to second, and Hurst gets back easily. Count 1-1, of course. Good pitch. That catches the outside corner, strike 2. And now Mason's got options. Love a strikeout here. That one instead is laced to center field, but Devontae Jones is there pretty easily. The runner tags. It's going to be a close throw at third, but Hurst will get there in time. And that's one of the things that Pryor wanted to do, advance that base runner, and they did. Now they got a runner at third, less than 2 outs.
So it was a well-hit ball right out to center field, but it was deep enough that Devontae Jones could not get that throw in. That's one of those times that you really would like for him to back up a few steps and take that run in and throw on the catch.
Yeah, I mean, he made an accurate throw, but maybe
absolutely
could have put a bit more zip on it. All right, so Clinton Stoller takes strike 1. He puts the ball in play the right way for him. Pryor will have a run. Middle of the infield will give up a run. They're not playing in early in the game, of course, still. That pitch outside for a ball. So later in the game, Kirk, you think the infield would play in?
I definitely think they would, especially in a 0-0 game.
Yeah.
You're going to protect everything at the plate.
Count 1-1. That ball is lined. Nice diving stab by Sexton. That's an out. The base runner will not advance. He's going to stay at third, and that's a big second out for Carl Albert. Second good play for Lane Sexton at second base this game.
Sexton did a great job, got his glove underneath that.
The coach of Pryor has, I guess he thought that ball may have been trapped, Kirk.
Well, I think that's what he was arguing, but, you know, honestly, you could see that it was in the glove, and it rolled over on it, but, you know, there was nothing.
Yeah, so the Pryor coach gets a word in, but not. That's about it. And
he's still giving the official over here on the third base side.
Yeah, of course there are 3 umpires now in state tournament baseball. That pitch to Brock Ward is on the outside corner, strike 1. So there's a runner at third. Ward
2 outs.
No wild pitches here. Won't happen to that pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2.
Great job there by Avery just to bear down.
got a little bit more work to do. Let's see if he can do it. 0-2 pitch.
Set up on the outside.
Yep. Good job there by Jason Purcell. Not letting anything get away. And the count goes 1-2 on that outside pitch. One and two delivery. That is sliced foul. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count stays 1-2. Winner of this game will take on the winner of the next game that will probably be played under the lights. Duncan taking on Durant. Durant kind of the Cinderella team in this particular field.
They just turned the lights on here at the stadium.
Yeah, this game will be under the lights soon, I believe. 1-2 pitch. Definitely outside.
Again,
count evens.
Again, Purcell set up on the outside. That's where the pitch needed to go. Trying to get him to chase. Counts 2-2.
Now time is called. I'm not sure what the ump was motioning there for. I guess he just wanted a little bit more time for the batter. It's being Brock Ward. The cleanup hitter for Pryor, trying to deliver the first run of the game. 2-2 pitch. Chopper to Murphy. Murphy will go to first. He'll get the runner first. And a bit of a jam, but Mason Avery gets out of that jam. The score remains tied at 0. We played 3.5. We got the bottom of the fourth coming up on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're at the Buffalo Wild Wings bottom of the fourth inning. We're going to see the second at bat for Boston Holland as the Titans and Tigers are deadlocked. We're yet to see a hit for Carl Albert. They've drawn a walk. One hit for Pryor so far. There may be the hit.
There's one.
It will drop in front of the center fielder, Talon Foster. Couldn't make a play on that. And a base hit for Boston Holland. And this may be an opportunity, Kirk. Carl Albert will play small ball with this group.
Yep.
At some point, will we see a bunt or an attempted steal? They got thrown out once.
Single out there to center. No outs.
Here comes Jordan Hawkins. You see here, he bats left-handed. He'll bat right-handed against the lefty. He's a switch hitter. You don't see too many of those in high school. And Hawkins sends one to center field. Easy play there for, actually it'll be taken by the left fielder Riley Hurst for out number 1. So first pitch swing in there. Now Nate Dellenplank comes to bat. Nate got the game-winning hit against Lawton MacArthur. That was a low-scoring game that Carl Albert pulled out 1-0. In the bottom of the 7th inning.
Nate's last time at bat, he sent it out to center field and flew out there. So he's had contact outside.
1-0 now the count. Ron, you go to Buffalo Wild Wings if you have time for their buy one, get one deals every Thursday. They also do it on Tuesday. One base runner for Carl Albert. Right now it's Boston Holland. Holland will be sent back to first. He gets back there easily, as Jaron Bailey gives him some attention. Not a huge lead yet.
No.
That pitch misses outside. If you're Dellen Plank, Nate, I should say, you can be very selective here.
Yep,
that pitch catch the outside corner. Strike one. That's the exact type of strike we've seen a lot thrown by Mason Avery. So consistent strike zone. Count goes 2-1. And here's Bailey's pitch to Dellen Plank.
Ooh.
Took a breaking ball, strike two.
Had a little off speed to that. Kind of froze Deli there a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was expecting fastball. They go back to first. Again, easily for Holland to get back. Now Bailey will look back at the batter, Dellen Plank. 2-2. Dellen Plank sends one to center field. Left center field. It will be taken by the center fielder for Pryor. That's Talon Foster for out number 2.
Well, again, we're getting contact, but that's 5 flyouts now through 4 2/3 inning.
See if Bo Davis can do something more with that. Only a sophomore batting cleanup for Carl Albert. And that pitch is fouled off. Bobby Lewis foul ball and strike one. Carl Albert's last game was a pitcher's duel against Laud MacArthur.
Absolutely.
Their first game of the state tournament last year against Sapulpa was also a 1-0 pitcher's duel. That pitch is outside for a ball. Stoller looked towards first, but no throw. And count evens 1-1. 1-1. That one is lifted, or it's in foul territory. And
got it.
They made the out. You can't see it on the screen, but a very good play was made by the third baseman, Sergio Buñuelos. And that is out number 3. So Carl Albert strands one this inning on a base hit. And we played 0-0 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers.
Welcome back to Middale, or I should say Carl Albert Titans State Championship Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Jordan Ray, Kirk Norman. Confidence Chevrolet, top of the inning. First pitch for Mason Avery is a strike. The batter is Sergio Buñuelos, who made a great defensive play catching a foul ball near his dugout. Takes a pitch there for a strike. That pitch is called a strike, Kirk, I believe. I think
yes, it is.
Swung.
Yes.
Check swing that where he went around.
0-2.
So the count goes 0-2.
Set up on the outside here.
And that misses, ball one. Well, we've seen some web jams this game. The infield for Carl Albert, the middle of the infield's been really good. Declan Murphy, Lane Sexton. And then for Piedmont, or I want to call him Piedmont, Pryor, they just made a great web gem. It's this batter right here. That pitch is in the air in foul territory. It will not stay in play for Jason Purcell. And that's a long Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count will stay 1-2. Benuelos. He is 0 for 1 today.
Yeah, his last time at bat, he flew out into left field.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. High, ball 2. At some point, will one of these pitchers make a mistake? Especially with base runners on. They got to get these base runners first. So here's Mason Avery's 2 delivery. Nope, time is called. And again, we talked about earlier, he's very deliberate, is Mason. So you may see a timeout get called from time to time when we've seen a couple. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. This should be routine for Declan. Picks it up, fires. Good throw to Jordan Hawkins. Out number 1. I now have a ton of confidence when that ball's hit to him.
Yep.
After a play he made, I think maybe in the second inning.
Yes. But a beautiful 6-3 there. And Declan, you know, he has made the last 2 outs, the last out of the 4th inning, and then the first out of this top of the 5th.
It's the one negative when he pitches. He's not playing short at that point.
Right.
But Nate Dellenplay can definitely play a good short when he needs to.
Carter Sloan up to bat here for Pryor.
That ball misses low to Carter Sloan, and it is ball 1.
Sloan's the first baseman. He struck out his first time at bat. This is his second time through.
And he'll be ahead in the count 2-0 with that high and inside delivery. That pitch fouled off, so strike 1. Bobby Lewis foul ball, but a strike 1 for Mason Avery. Again, he has experience. He pitched in the semifinals last year against Collinsville over at Edmond Santa Fe and went the distance in a Carl Albert victory.
Avery shakes off the first pitch. He's looking. He says he'll take that one.
2-1 delivery. That one's fouled off.
Good foul ball. Bobby Lewis Insurance.
Now, remember about that last year in the semifinals, Kirk. We assumed that it was going to be Sammy Gonzalez, who I saw earlier today, or Declan Murphy pitching. When Coach said Mason Avery, I was like, who? Because we didn't do any of his games. He was a backup catcher last year as a sophomore. And, man, did he make his presence felt. That one is lined to center field. Left center field. Devontae Jones, though, will have no problem with that. That's out number 2.
Great job there by Devontae, just floating over there with the ball. And just a well played and very clean.
One of the seniors on this Carl Albert team in the field. So he's seen a lot. Next batter for Pryor, Jared Bailey, the pitcher. So we got pitcher versus pitcher here. Both pitchers bat 7th. And Bailey lines one to left field, but Jackson Webster comes in. No problem there for out number 3. And that's 5 shutout innings for Mason Avery. And Carl Albert remains tied with Piedmont as we head to the bottom of the 5th on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels. easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're at the Buffalo Wild Wings bottom of the 5th inning. And for Carl Albert, Devontae Jones, who got that second out in center field in the top of the inning, will lead off this inning. And Jones lines one. It falls right in front of the second baseman. It'll actually be an easy play for him. No problem for Trace Crawford, and that's a first pitch out. We've seen some first pitch outs and very few base runners, so this game has moved by quickly.
He really just didn't get all that ball, it seemed like.
Here is Declan Murphy. If I remember correctly, and you're keeping track of this, he hit the ball well last at bat.
Yeah, it was a line drive right over to the third baseman. Woo.
That pitch is outside for a strike. Declan Murphy was the leadoff hitter for Carl Albert last year in the state tournament. Batting 6th here. Coach Wiley said, yeah, he hasn't quite been the same at the plate, but he's been good otherwise. And that one
may drop
to left field. And
just outside.
It will drop foul. If you couldn't see, couldn't blame you. We can't get the entire field there, but that is going to be Bobby Lewis foul ball. And 0-1.
0-2.
0-2.
Yeah.
So now Declan's got to protect the plate here. Murphy sends one to center field. It's actually pretty well hit, but close to the track and making the catch is Talon Foster for out number 2.
Both pitchers are doing a great job at letting the batters hit the ball, but the defense is there. Everything is holding up.
That's for sure. It's been cleanly played because there's been no defensive mistakes. The defense has been tested at times. Here's Mason Avery, the pitcher, batting, and he swings first pitch and fouls it off. Bobby Lewis foul ball and strike 1. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you, both in Choctaw and Midwest City. 0-1 pitch. Oh, that didn't look like a good swing from Mason there, and it's 0-2 as he didn't follow through on that swing. So now he'll have to protect the plate as Bailey is dealing right now for Pryor, but that pitch is high, ball 1. Winner of this game plays much earlier tomorrow against the winner of the next game here. That's Duncan and Durant. Ground ball, it's going to get through for a base hit. And Mason Avery will reach with a second single. Now he should be courtesy run 4. We'll see if we get a number on this. But it's been 28. Peyton Reed. And that's who it is there. So Jackson Webster batting. At some point, we'll see if Carl Albert gets real aggressive here. That pitch is high, ball 1. I think the fact that Pryor has a caught stealing. That was Jordan Hawkins, by the way, no ordinary base runner. That is making Carl Albert a little hesitant to run. That pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. But Peyton Reed, the courtesy runner, he wouldn't be courtesy running if he wasn't fast. See if they can at least advance him a base or 2. Show and bunt, and he went for it, and it will be a strike. That's really the first attempted bunt, I think, Kirk.
Yeah, it is.
Carl Albert. They did a lot of that last week against Lawton MacArthur.
And now we're in the bottom of the fifth. We may have to just keep looking at that.
1-2 pitch, runner goes.
Yep.
It's fouled off, and Reed will come back to first.
I actually think he had the jump on that. I think that would have been a good steal.
Yeah, Webster had to protect the plate, but you're right. I think he would have gotten it. 1-2 pitch.
That was well outside.
Count evens 2-2 with that ball. Just want to remind you, I don't know if the game will start on time, but Newcastle on the Oklahoma Sports Network, they have a very good team in 4A playing Salisaw later this evening. 2-2 pitch, and
get down,
Webster
ball.
sends one to right field, and it's going to be not caught. It lands on the ground. With 2 outs, Reed will get to third. You're hoping there that maybe with a double for Jackson Webster could advance the base runner past third. It does not, but Carl Albert now for the first time this game, for either team, with 2 base runners. And it's up to Lane Sexton here with 2 outs to perhaps bat in the first runners of the game.
Yeah, it's the first time either team has had 2 runners on base at the same time. And so, this is a good option. And we've got the possibility here. You talk about a 2-out rally. Mm-hmm. This is where we are. Coach Whiteley's going to come in and talk to Sexton.
Now, with 2 outs, you wouldn't think of bunts on the table. What do you think the message is here?
I don't think the bunt is on the table, except for the fact that, the defense is still playing deep.
That is true.
If you could put a bunt down the third base line to where it didn't go very far, then you're really going to put the pressure on Jaron Bailey to get in there and try to make that happen.
Oh, swung on and missed for Sexton. He wanted to go after that first pitch, and he misses. Strike 1. Sexton had some big at-bats again in the regional last week. He is not your ordinary ninth-place hitter.
Defense is still back on the grass. Oh, that
good
one
pitch
came in
by
on
Bailey.
there.
Now, again, you're going to have Lane in defense posture here, or defense mindset, as he's behind the count 0-2. Bailey looking to get out of this.
Yeah,
tough at bat.
And the defense is set up. They're only looking at the plate.
A good defensive swing there. He stayed alive. Bobby Lewis foul ball. We just hope Lane can put something in play, even though Pryor's shown they have good defense, but just something in play and give his team a chance to score here. Still an 0-2 count. Swung on and missed. What a game for Jaron Bailey of Pryor. And we played 5 innings, no runs. It's 0-0 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I'm so hungry I could eat all the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. There's been a short break between innings, and we're cutting out of commercials here. My apologies for that, but
bottom of the lineup comes up here. Trace Crawford, second baseman.
First pitch for Mason Avery, called strike. Confident Chevrolet, top of the first inning. Avery gets ahead 0-1. Pitch misses, ball one. Second at bat for Trace Crawford. One thing to add about Mason from last year, the fact that he pitched that game in the semis, and I'll finish this thought after this pitch, this 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed, strike two. What I was going to say is that allowed Carl Albert to use both Declan Murphy and Sammy Gonzalez as pitchers in the state championship game, Kirk, and you called that game. That was significant.
Yes, it was.
As Declan didn't quite have his best stuff, so Sammy came in and closed the door on Duncan. And Carl called a called strike three. We didn't have a replay in a while. We're going to have one right here. This is a Triple H screen printing instant replay. That is another strikeout for Mason Avery.
It's his third of the game so far.
What a run he has had in 2 starts in the state tournament.
And really, one of the things I was doing here while you were talking was that, he's only up to about 60 pitches. So,
yeah,
that's through 5 innings, 5 1/3.
And he's still pitching well. Talon Foster, check swing, does hold his swing. Ball one.
That's pretty.
That catches the inside part of the strike zone. Count goes 1-1.
A little bit of a slider to that. It came towards the batter and just moved on in.
Pryor still just the second time to the batting order.
That's right.
That will change soon, but
yeah, this is the second time right here. This is the final of their at-bat.
That one is laced to left field. That sends Jackson Webster
may be
back.
Out.
He jumps for it, and he can't get it, and Pryor will take a 1-0 lead as their 9th place hitter, Talon Foster. And now Carl Albert's in some danger here as they have 6 outs to work with to try to catch up. Jackson Webster did all he could, but the ball was just a bit too deep for him, and the Tigers lead the Titans 1-0.
Jackson Webster went dead into that wall, and I can tell you right now it looks like an auto accident hit that fence out there.
It was loud. It was loud when he hit it. Well, I've heard described away as an auto accident, too, by outfielders who've run into the wall. We'll take a break. We hope Jackson's okay.
Looks like he's going to be fine. He's getting up. He's to his feet now.
Okay,
Our trainer is out there.
We'll hold off on the break then. But now an applause coming as they're happy that Jackson seems to be okay. Can't really see it well on your screen, but yes, there's a couple of there's like 3 coaches there. Did he lose his glove? He may have lost his glove. They had someone jumping over the wall.
Yeah, he did. His glove's on the other side of the fence.
That's interesting. Then I'm sure they can get him a glove easily.
Well, there was a guy that ran around, brought it out to him. So
okay, I didn't know if
he brought the ball back and the glove.
I didn't know if it was a chore to go get that ball or not.
And he's going to stay in the game. There's no problem there. Whiteley's coming back. The trainer's coming back. Good sportsmanship there as well when you see both of the coaches from Pryor. They headed out there immediately on that side. They were the closest to Webster when he hit that wall. Now he's turning around and he's kind of making googly eyes at the bent-up wall.
So one thing important here, he has his glove.
Nothing like leaving your mark when you go someplace, right?
And now we're at the 3rd time through, but it was the 9th place hitter who has changed the outcome of this game. At least it appears that way for now.
Riley Hurst got a double his last time at bat.
Strike one. So Avery just needs to get that out of his head. Oh, 1 pitch, 0-2.
Avery wipes off 2 of the pitches that they wanted. Now he wipes off the 3rd. Here he goes.
Right. Well, he's got something at least. 0-2 pitch. That is swung on and fouled. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with occasions to serve you in Choctaw, where he's there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Dale said he's there Tuesday and Thursday. And we thank him for being our foul ball sponsor once again this year. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hurst. Way outside, ball 1. Carl Albert will have their top of the order coming up. That's the good news for them. They got to score a run here. Now trailing. Maybe the first time in years that they've trailed in the state tournament, maybe since they last lost to Collinsville in 2022.
Whoa, nice curveball. Brought it in there for the strikeout.
We're going to show that to you again on the Triple H screen printing replay, but there's a strikeout for Mason Avery, and we got 2 away.
4th strikeout of the game.
So that's going to bring up Gavin Roberts, and he'll be batting for the 3rd time. That pitch catches the inside part of the strike zone. Strike 1.
2 down here in the inning. We need to get this one and get the bats going.
That one's fouled off. Bobby Lewis foul ball. It's strike 2. And Mason's a strike away from getting out of this inning, limiting the damage to just 1 run. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Chopper. Declan Murphy gets there. Throws off balance. And they got him. What a play by Declan Murphy.
It was awfully close, but very good play by Declan.
And we'll show this to you on the Triple Elite screen printing instant replay. Triple Elite, again, found world-class design and hot new styles. All right, we head to the bottom of the 6th. Titans trailing on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're now at the Buffalo Wild Wings, bottom of the 6th inning. Jordan Ray, along with Kirk Norman. Pryor took the lead on a solo home run from Talon Foster in the top of the 6th inning. And now Carl Albert needs to score a run either this inning or next to stay alive. They're going to have the top of the order up.
Boston Holland got a single his last time up, and that ball went into center field. So we just got to get the bats going.
Instead, we have a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Bailey has kept the Titans off balance for much of this game. Again, Jaron Bailey. You know, you see aces in these games, and we see why he's an ace. Misses there, ball 1. Jordan Hawkins on deck. And now Holland is ahead 2-1. That's low, gets away from the catcher. No problem with the base run, with no base runner, but it is ball 3. Titans need to get base runners. Maybe they'll get one here via base on balls. 3-1 pitch, and that is a walk.
Go. Got the walk, and that's a base runner. First man up.
If not mistaken, Jordan Hawkins has not seen many pitches this game, so we'll see if he works the count or what he does here.
Well, this is the 3rd time through the lineup, so it's the 3rd time for them to see Jaron Bailey and to have an idea of what he's going to throw. Holland on first.
He squares to bunt, and
ball
then
gets
pulls
back,
it back, and it was not a foul ball, so that means that Holland will take second. Thought about third, heads back to second. So good job by Jordan to pull that bat back. And it now leads to a runner in scoring position, nobody out. And this is, you got to come through here. You may not have this opportunity again.
They're going to come out and they're going to have a talk.
And we'll have the Pryor coach come out. So that also gives Ryan Whiteley, the head coach for Carl Albert, is also the third base coach, a chance to talk strategy with Jordan Hawkins, the batter, and Boston Holland, the base runner. I have to remind Boston about what type of when he should try to score and not just take third. Count is now 1-0. We've got a very intense situation here. That's why you like to announce these games, make the trek from Midwest City here to Sapulpa on a beautiful day. Two good baseball teams, and we now have we have crunch time right now. 1-0 pitch. Again, he squares to bunt. This is a good bunt.
Pretty bunt laid
and
down.
Jordan Hawkins with a bunt
job.
single. When he had to come through, he comes through with a bunt. There are going to be runners at the corners and nobody out. We'll see this awesome bunt by Jordan on the Triple H screen printing replay. And now the guy that got the game-winning base hit Carl Albert's last game against Lawton MacArthur, Nate Dellenplank, and he has a chance to at least tie this game.
You know, we talked about that back in about the third inning or so, maybe the fourth inning, was they were still playing back, and right now they're still not up on the grass. The third baseman is. Other than that, nobody else is up. And so the bunt was there for the taking.
And Dellenplank doesn't waste any time to show bunt. Hawkins takes off. The throw. Oh, they got him. And Holland stayed at third. Jordan Hawkins gets thrown out again. I thought he got that initially.
I think he did initially. I think he went past the bag and left the bag, and that's what the umpire was waiting on. And he's explaining that to Whiteley right now.
Hawkins is staying at second, but he's going to be out. Yeah, he's leaving. Yeah, Ryan Whiteley came out to talk about that one. I didn't see what the pitch was called there, Kirk. I don't know if you caught it.
It was a ball.
Okay. Boy, you don't normally see that for Carl Albert, but Clinton Stoller has been awesome at catcher for the Tigers. That pitch is fouled off. It's going to be out of play. Bobby Lewis foul ball, strike one, and now Dellenplank really needs to come through here with one out. He's got to put something in play and try to tie this game.
Again, when you get back to the fundamentals, base hit, score runs, that's all you have to have.
1-1 pitch. Grounded to third. They need to get back. Oh, they got it out at third. Boy, you saw Boston Holland go off the third base bag, looking to score on a throw from Sergio Benuelos, and then Benuelos made a heads-up play going back to third, and those are two close plays. And now there's two outs.
And a runner on first. Great defense by Pryor. I mean, you can't deny that. Great defense by Pryor. Third baseman takes the ball off the hop. He's looking. He realizes you can't make it home and you can't make it back to third, and so he goes back and tags the runner. We have a runner on first, two outs.
And Davis, first pitch swinging, sends one to center field. Standard play for the Pryor center fielder, and they are out of inning. Jaron Bailey makes the catch for Pryor, and Carl Albert had runners at first and third, nobody out, and got out on the base pass. Just shocking, and we now head to the top of the seventh. Still an inning to play. Still some hope for Carl Albert right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
We're at the top of the 7th now on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Confident Chevrolet inning. And Mason Avery needs to get 3 outs here, keep it 1-0, and maybe Carlbert can tie the next inning. First pitch, it's off the glove of Davis. Murphy will make a throw, and he got him. Another web gem for Declan Murphy. Just to react that way, Kirk, off the glove of Bo Davis, heads up play. You got to have so many things as a shortstop to be able to do that. And Declan has it.
Wow. I know that there's not instant replay, but that was awfully close.
Well, there is Triple Eight instant replay. It's
right.
It's not the best camera shot, but
great throw. I'm telling you, that was a magnificent throw.
And that's Ward, that was an easier play for Bo Davis, and that's 2 pitches, 2 quick outs. And Declan Murphy will have a chance to hit next inning, and hopefully he'll still stay 1-0 as for Carl Albert's sake. Here's Carter Sloan. Titans lost won 1-0 the first round of state last year. That pitch is inside, and they're at risk now of losing 1-0 unless they can generate offense. Bottom of the 7th. Of course, they still need to get out of this inning.
This is Sergio Benuelos.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is the third batter of this inning. Yeah,
but he made that unbelievable play for third base.
Yes,
to not just go and throw that ball, and that one is lined and caught by Lane Sexton. Nice leaping catch by Lane. And that is a quick top of the 7th inning. Okay.
Well, Carl Albert's got to do their work now. I mean, this is where it is right here.
It's do or die time for the Titans on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
It is do or die time for the Carl Albert Titans, the 2-time defending state champs, looking for a 3-peat, something they did early last decade. But they got to score a run here at least. They are 3 outs away from being eliminated. And they have had a hard time with Bailey. That's Jaron Bailey, the Piedmont pitcher.
You know, really, I'm gonna rebut that just a little bit. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and they've been on base and been in a place. They've just really had some bad luck in the run game. And
they have had that. They had 3 outs on the base pass.
Yes.
They also had an at bat with runners second and third, 2 outs. So they couldn't come through there. Devontae Jones, a senior. We got 2 seniors coming up for Carl Albert. Is this going to be it for them? They've accomplished a lot. And I know they don't want to go out like this. Ground ball fielded cleanly by the first baseman for Pryor. That's Carter Sloan, and out number 1. And Declan Murphy needs to come through now as he's the next batter for the Titans. Murphy has hit the ball well.
Yeah, Declan had a line drive over to the third baseman. A good play there by Benuelos. And then a fly out into center field.
Big swing there.
Swinging for the fences there.
Yeah. And he falls behind the count 1-0. So both pitchers may go the distance here. Jaron Bailey trying to 7 innings for Mason Avery. That pitch is up Out of the zone, ball 1. Mason Avery is due up here. Swung on and foul ball. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Bobby Lewis surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and Midwest City. And it's 1-2 now. So now Declan's got to protect the plate. Good eye there, taking the pitch. It's now 2-2.
Got to swing level through that ball.
Almost hit him. Would have taken that, but
never broke.
Yeah. Breaking ball didn't break, and count goes full. Can Murphy, Avery's next, can Murphy get on base? He will stay alive with another Bobby Lewis foul ball. Three-two pitch. Line ball, and that will drop for a base hit. Declan Murphy comes through, and Carl Albert has a tying run on base once again. They have out-hit Pryor, but Pryor got the big hit. Carl Albert has 1 extra base hit, but it's a double. And Mason Avery will bat here. They really don't have a pinch hitter waiting. It's going to be these batters.
Yep. Declan Murphy is the tying run on first base.
Third trip for Mason. He takes high. But I'll tell you this. It would take, I don't know what it would take, but because they've gotten thrown out twice by Clinton Stoller, the catcher for Pryor. So I don't see Declan taking off necessarily, but who knows. 1-0 pitch. That one is sliced foul for strike 1 and a Bobby Lewis foul ball.
Mason's last time at bat, he got a single through the 3-4 hole over here on the right side. Count goes 1-1.
Love a single here, a single at least that could advance Declan to third base. Big swing there and a miss. And the count goes 1-2. Now Mason's got to protect the plate here. The 1-2 pitch by Bailey, that's high. Oh, did that hit him? Mason's saying it did. The umpire says no. Mason wants it. He's not going to get it. You don't see that often there, but you want to be careful, Kirk. You don't agitate the umpire.
No, that's exactly right. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He may not give you a favorable deal there. Now Ryan Whiteley will come in and I don't know if he's calling a timeout or he's asking for maybe he's getting a conference for the 3 umpires. Again, there's 3 umpires instead of 2 for these state tournament games. So why do you think the home plate umpire would talk to the other 2? Maybe they could see something.
Well, maybe they could see it hit his shirt or whatever. And that's what that's what they talked about, yeah. I kind of thought, because it looked like it hit his shirt. I don't think it hit his body. But
yeah, that's a big call there. The catcher, Clinton Stoller, is beside himself. But Carl Albert will once again have the tying run in scoring position, and that is, you don't see it. You don't see a hit by pitch quite like that, where you have a conference first, or you do have a conference that changes the home plate umpire's call, and that's going to lead to the Pryor head coach coming out, and he is fuming.
Yep. And
Gerald Osborne, the name of the head coach.
And you know, you have to understand a little bit about that. And the reason I say that is because the guy behind the plate is the guy that needs to make the affirmative decision right off the bat. And so when you get something like that where a batter goes and pleads his case and then they call him in, all of a sudden the guy behind the plate has a tendency to look a little bit iffy. So the Pryor coach, man, he's got every right to come out here and plead his case.
So Jackson Webster, who since his last at bat has slammed against a wall, but he's batting here. We should have Peyton Reed at first as a courtesy runner. He would represent the winning run. Chopper, that's the third baseman can't get it, and the bases are now loaded. The third baseman, Benuelos, stopped it with a great diving play. But when he tried to pick up the ball, because there's a force at third, he didn't have to just simply tag Declan Murphy. He needed to touch third base with the ball, but he couldn't take the ball with him. Wow.
1 out.
And Lane Sexton will have another opportunity. Last time he batted, Kirk, I believe there was runners at second and third, and he struck out.
That's exactly right. But now we've got runners on all the pads, 1 out.
He can win the game with a well-placed single. Wow. First pitch. Ground ball. They're going to go home, I would think. It needs to be caught cleanly. It is.
That one's out.
Oh, and getting under that is Peyton Reed. And the third baseman not happy with that, but they do get the out at home. We are down to the final out for Carl Albert.
Pads are loaded still.
And, of course, the runners will go hard on contact. But Boston Holland, a sophomore, it is up to him. He has got to reach base to keep this thing going.
Boston Holland's got a single out to center field, and he walked his last time at bat and was thrown out. So here we are. That was basically, that'll be scored as a fielder's choice. And so we've got runners in all positions, and Boston Holland, who had one really good hit.
We may see a pitching change, we may not. I'm guessing that Osborne didn't know heading into the mound. He wants to get confirmation from Jaron Bailey, who's pitched great for Pryor this game. I would think, Kirk. I'm kind of guessing there.
Yeah.
But that he is going to stay in. I wasn't sure about that when he was heading to the mound if he was going to stay in. I think he probably should. It's not like Carl hit the ball too hard, although on that hit by Jackson Webster, that stab by the third baseman, Benuelos, who's had an amazing game at third, kept a run from scoring. So Carl Albert's, again, they're having all kinds of trouble scoring runs, but they're going to get one more shot here. Boston Holland.
Bottom of the seventh, win or go home, and here we are.
Good pitch there. It's strike one.
Strike. He's been calling it that way all day.
Yeah, I can't blame Boston for taking that pitch. That's probably not what he's looking for. But Jaron Bailey made his pitch here. Can he make another one or two? Oh, he took it, and it was high.
A little bit high.
1-1. Again, the sophomore, Boston Holland. He's got Carl Albert DNA. His brother played there for Carl Albert on a state championship team. 1-1 pitch. That's sliced foul, and the Titans are down to their final strike.
A little bit of an off-speed, caught Boston just a little bit ahead.
Boy, my heart's racing here, Kirk. Boston Holland's got to protect the plate now.
The fans are into it. 1-2, 2 outs, bases loaded.
Here we go, 1-2 pitch.
That one was outside.
Yeah, you don't want the game on that.
No.
Count evens, 2-2, 2 outs. A base hit for Crawford would probably score 2 runs. A base hit past the infield, you would think. Peyton Reed represents the tying run. Jackson Webster at second, who's fast, is the winning run. 2-2. That is sliced foul.
That's a Bobby Lewis Insurance foul ball.
That sure is, and what a battle this is. Just the nerves, and I imagine you got fans from both sides feeling a lot of nerves too.
6th pitch of this bat's coming up right now.
Can Jaron Bailey get the complete game shutout, or can Boston Holland at least tie the game? That is high.
Takes the count full. You can't get any better than this.
That means the runners will take off. So that should easily score anything past the infield.
It can't. Everybody's moving.
Boy, it would take some stones to take a pitch here for Boston, but if he does and it's called a ball, the game is tied.
Everything is moving.
Full count.
That was in the dirt.
And it is called a 4. This game is tied. Unbelievable. What a rally for Carl Albert. The bases will remain loaded. They still have some work to do here. They want to win this thing. We'll reset the count. And Jordan Hawkins, who has a spectacular bunt his last at bat. They're going to stick with Bailey.
Jordan Hawkins took a walk his first time at bat, flew out to left field, and then bunted his last time and got on base.
He bunts.
He's going to bunt down that left side. That's just a strike.
So strike one there. It's both bunting with the bases loaded and 2 outs. You know, you got to have a lot of confidence to try that. But again, his bunt was so good. Last at bat.
Well, actually, what needs to happen here, though, is, and he's a left-hander, and this is the time I would have had him go to the other side. If you're wanting to bunt him to that right side. You've got nobody over here.
That's an interesting point of view. You do see switch hitters do that sometimes.
Yep.
All right, count 0-1. Inside. Any ball that gets past their catcher, Clinton Stoller, will win the game for the Titans.
You've got to believe that Jackson Webster has got to be on his wheels, ready to go.
They all need to be, because there's a force at every base. That is fouled off over the backstop. That's going to be strike 2 and a Bobby Lewis foul ball. Do we have extra innings coming?
Well, right now we do.
Yeah. Again, what an at-bat for Boston Holland, by the way, because he was in the situation, batted off some foul balls. The fact that he took those pitches amazes me. And worked a walk.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Let's see what we have here.
Ooh.
Chopper, but foul. And again, just a tough out right now.
You've got to protect the plate.
This is the 4th at bat for Jordan, just like it was for our 4th plate appearance. We'll have to officially call it for Boston Holland since he drew a walk. They get the ball back to Bailey. Jaron Bailey. This is another pressure pitch.
1-2 count.
1-2. Swung on and missed. And we get some bonus baseball for you. Thanks to a walk from Boston Holland and other key at-bats for Carl Albert, starting with a base hit for Declan Murphy, who scored the tying run. All right, we head to the top of the 8th on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You guys just...
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Yeah. Welcome back to Bonus Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We are now in the Confidence Chevrolet top of the 8th inning. Extra innings.
Bottom of the lineup coming up now for Pryor. Sloan, Bailey, and Crawford.
Forgets to Foster, well, we remember what he did his last at bat. But that's where we're at. And Kirk, we're talking off the air about that. One of the key moments of that for Carl Albert tying the game down to the last strike was that hit by pitch.
Absolutely.
For Mason Avery. He wanted it, and he got it. That's something I would look forward to asking Ryan Whiteley about later. But Mason Avery will pitch 8 innings here, or he'll try to pitch 8 innings, and he gets a strike on his first pitch here. He's pitched outstanding, but Pryor did get a home run off him by the 9th place hitter here. And that's why it's 1-1. Strike 2.
Avery just rocking fire that one.
That is called strike 3.
That's the 5th strikeout now for Avery in the game. And again, that outside is there for the taking.
Sloan couldn't believe it.
Well,
but he is
all
out.
day people have said that.
Yeah.
And all day it's been a strike. Yeah.
Another strikeout brought to you by Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance. 1 out. And again, he's dialed in right now as Mason with another outside strike there.
Pitcher on pitcher.
If you're just tuning in, yes, it's the top of the 8th inning. Yes, in high school baseball, that's extra innings. What a game this has been. And Avery is just dealing right now as he gets ahead in the count 0-2. The batter being the other pitcher, Jared Bailey. Oh, 2 pitch for Mason. That one is in the air to center field, but it looks like Devontae Jones will have no problem with this, or will he? He will not. And that's 2 outs.
Fly out to center field, 2 outs. And here we go for the last batter, hopefully.
Trace Crawford.
Of the top of the 8th inning.
He is the Pryor second baseman. He's had a good game at the field.
He struck out the last time at bat and was thrown out.
That pitch is outside, ball
set
1.
Up on the outside. And he was thrown out by Declan Murphy.
Yeah, Declan Murphy, what a
out.
game he's had. He's saved runs probably with all the accumulation of the web gems there. That pitch is also outside, so Mason now falls behind in a batter for the first time in a bit.
Again, Purcell is setting up a little bit to the outside. That was good.
There's strike 1.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Just incredible the inning that transpired in the bottom of the 7th. The Titans were down to their final strike, folks. The bid for a 3-peat was about to end. They came through. Can they have a chance to win the bottom of the 8th? Oh, almost hit batters there. You don't want to do that. The count goes 3-1. I don't believe Pryor's had a base runner since their home run.
The Pryor coach was trying to make all he could make out of that one right there.
Yeah. He wants him to take first. He will take first, though, in the next pitch.
Take it on the walk.
So the go-ahead run for Pryor is now on base. And we're back to the hitter who shocked the world. You don't normally see 9th-place hitters hit home runs in high school baseball. But we saw that in the top of the 6th inning.
That's Mason Avery's first walk of the night.
Yeah, he's had unbelievable control. So just to see that makes you maybe a tiny bit concerned here. I believe this is the the Crowbert pitching coach.
That's actually Coach Whiteley out
Okay.
there, yeah. And, he's coming up. Talon Foster was the guy that, drove this ball out of the park and tore up the fence out there.
Yeah, who can forget the amazing effort there by Jackson Webster running into that wall at full speed. He stayed in the game. He lost his glove but got it back. And that had the Titans worried, we'll say.
Go-ahead runs on first base.
I mean, maybe they may be worried here. I don't know. We have not seen, I don't believe, an attempt at steal for Pryor. Don't know if we'll see one here with 2 outs. Good pitch for Mason. Strike 1 on a swing and miss. I'm guessing Coach Wiley was not yet considering a change when he came out.
It didn't look so. I think he
Yeah.
was just trying to get Mason to calm down just a little. Mason was pitching awfully fast.
No action in the Carl Albert bullpen. We got a good view of it. 0-1. There goes the runner, and Purcell couldn't gather the ball.
Yep.
I didn't see what that pitch was called.
It was a ball.
I don't know if Purcell had a chance there, but
I think he might have had a chance. He was ready for it, and it was one of those places where you can't get the ball out of your glove. The glove came loose, and
so a base hit here past the infield, of course, would give Pryor the lead, and now Foster will call for time. Again, the stress level here. You know, if Carl Albert is able to win this game, Mason Avery will probably catch a game in about 14 hours or so from now. Maybe not quite that long, maybe 16 hours. Swung on and missed. Mason Avery's been very economical with his pitches. That's why he's able to go 8 innings. This confident Chevrolet top of the 8th. Will this be Avery's last pitch of the inning? As he gathers.
Purcell sets up on the outside of the plate.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. Ground ball. Can Sexton get there? He can. The throw to Hawkins is in time. And Carl Albert escapes the top of the 8th inning. They will go for the win in the bottom of the 8th right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. This is the bottom of the 8th inning. We have a pitching change for Pryor. If I heard correctly, was that Riley Hurst?
It's actually Bryce Pathkiller.
Bryce Pathkiller, okay.
Yep. Number 11.
He's a senior?
Yep, senior, pitcher, first baseman. And he is a long, tall drink of water, so he's coming down off that mound. Our batters have to be ready.
Well, here's to see if we do go to the next inning, the 9th inning, if we will see Bailey still in the lineup and if he's being DH'd for now. Not aware of any other moves in the outfield or infield, but it's always something interesting when you see a pitching change like this. Will he assume the spot in the batting order? Of course, in high school baseball, one thing I've learned from Coach Wiley is you can use your DH because Pryor did not.
Right.
You can use it after you make a substitution. As for the Titans, they are going to lead off with their third-place hitter, Nate Dellenplank. We've seen him hit a home run before. He just wants to do something here to put Carl Albert in position to get a walk-off win. That pitch is high. Ball 1. And Kirk, when you see a new pitcher come in, I think it's good to see. Does he have good stuff or not? You never know.
That's right.
That ball is hit
gone
to center
deep, but I don't think it's got enough. The hair is heavy.
It will stay in play. Boy, he hit to the deepest part of the outfield too, Kirk. But it's just going to be a long out, number 1 for Nate Dellenplank.
First out of the bottom half of the 8th inning.
So Bo Davis will come up, and we've seen him hit a home run on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Again, the pitcher, Bryce Pathkiller. Try to keep that name in mind. It's quite a name. Pathkiller's first pitch is high, ball 1. Yeah, I would try to work the count and see if he has control. I've seen so many times in high school baseball, the second pitcher comes in, and they don't have control at first. 1-0 pitch. Now there's some good control as he catches that outside part of the strike zone. Something Mason Avery has done quite a bit, and that's called strike one. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Big swing, but a foul ball. That's going to make it 1-2.
Davis has got the power to put it over the fence. It's just a matter of whether or not you're playing to get on base or whether or not you're playing to win the game. And he's just got to see the right pitch. And at 1-2 now, he's got to be defending the plate.
And he's going to take a timeout here. Just to see how much longer Mason Avery goes if this game extended. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and again, that's a foul ball. So Pryor makes the first pitching change. That's 7 unbelievable innings by, I'm sure, their ace pitcher, Jared Bailey. And he'll get a no decision. 1-2 pitch. That's a foul ball. Another Bobby Lewis foul ball. So we are seeing Path Killer throw strikes. See if the Titans can adjust. Again, he reaches for it, does Delaplank, or Davis, sorry.
Yeah. And part of that is, you know, he even asked the ump on that first outside ball there that was called a strike, you know, is that where it is? Because he's really protecting right now.
Got a 1-2 pitch. That one is placed, and it's base hit. It gets past the third baseman, Benuelos. Really had no shot at that, and Carl Albert has the winning run at first base. And Devontae Jones will come up. Then we got one out here. And Devontae's someone you could play small ball with. He's someone you could maybe bunt for a base hit or make that attempt. We'll see.
Devontae grounded out to first base his last time up at bat. He got thrown out by the shortstop the time before that and flew out to left field his first time at bat. This is his fourth time around. But again, as you said, this is a new pitcher, Bryce Pathkiller.
So here's the first pitch of the at bat. That is high, ball one. So the Titans have, I'm not keeping track of hits, but I know they got a lot more than Pryor.
Yes.
Pryor has the big one. And the Titans have stranded many runners. Good 1-0 pitch from Pathkiller. That catches the outside part of the strike zone. Count evens 1-1. One pitch. Jones shows bunt, pulls back. They call that a strike.
Ooh.
He definitely pulled back, so that's called strike, and I thought that was.
And it was well outside for him.
Davis at first. He will slide back to first as there was a bit of a show-me pickoff throw there by Pathkiller. And he'll reset. One-two pitch. Big hack there, and Devontae Jones strikes out. Patrick Eby Farmers Insurance strikeout. There's now 2 away.
That's his first strikeout of the game there by Pathkiller. And 2 outs. Declan Murphy comes up.
Yep, and
he got a single to center field his last time up to bat.
He's had a tremendous game as a senior because he's played an outstanding shortstop. He's gotten on base. They throw back to first, but Bo Davis gets back easily.
Now, Declan was the one that started the 2-out rally that got us the 1 run with in the 7th inning.
And he tied the game on a walk drawn by Boston Holland. He advanced to second on a controversial hit by pitch from Mason Avery. Takes that pitch low.
2-0 now.
So Murphy works the count in his favor. Can he get something he can drive? Bo Davis at first base will run with 2 outs as soon as there's contact made. That pitch is high, ball 3. I assume Declan will take here. Here's the 3-0 pitch from Pathkiller, and that is in there, strike 1.
3-1. You know, I would just hope that Declan would go ahead and swing away.
He does, and it'll make the count go full as he fouls that one off. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count goes 3-2. Bo Davis will take off with this pitch as it's a full count with 2 outs. Full count pitch. Line drive.
Base hit.
That's going to fall for a base hit. Can Davis take third? He was running on the pitch, and Davis will get to third easily. Murphy will take second. Risky play for Declan, but he gets there. I don't know what you thought about that, Kirk. Declan's base running when he doesn't represent the winning run.
I think that's. I think that is a risk worth taking, to be quite honest.
The big thing is Bo Davis getting at third. Now we have a hurt Pryor position player.
It was the second baseman that was in there, and he was there for the tag, and Murphy just came in and crushed right over him.
So would you call that a single and then he advanced to second on fielder's throw?
That's not the way no, normally that's just a double.
Yeah.
That's just a straight double. He never slowed up. It wasn't an advance. Yeah. Runners in scoring position now for the Titans. 2 outs, and here we are again. And
looks like,
Declan Murphy, Bo Davis gets on with that single. Declan Murphy gets the double.
Looks like Trace Crawford will be okay. Declan was banged up too.
So you've got Mason Avery coming up to bat.
You could pinch run for Declan and bring him back if this game extends.
Well, I think Declan is done. I think his pitch count is up to where Coach Wiley doesn't want him to.
You mean Mason?
I'm sorry.
What a big moment that was when Mason Avery got hit by the pitch. He called for it, and the home plate umpire did not give it to him right away, but then he decided to have a conference with the other 2 umpires and ruled that, yes, Mason Avery was hit.
Well, and that really is the only reason that Carl Albert is still playing this game.
Exactly. That was a huge moment that led to the runners advancing, eventually scoring on a walk. Mason Avery can win the game with a base hit. He slices this one foul. A Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count goes 0-1. Yeah, just the fact that you might go to a new pitcher makes you really want this.
Absolutely.
Mason Avery's pitched an outstanding game, 8 innings, allowing only 1 run. Takes the 0-1 pitch, and now it's 1-1. Remind you, the next game between Duncan and Durant was supposed to start at 6:30.
That's right.
Initially, that's what it says.
Well, and I was going to tell you, the first 5 innings of this game, we were all just kind of thinking, wow.
That pitch is called a strike. Good outside strike pitch thrown by Pathkiller, and he's a strike away from extending this to the 9th inning.
Mason's got to guard the plate here.
1-2 pitch, and that's
down.
low, ball 2. And what a good game for their catcher, Clinton Stoller, and if he didn't got by him here, the game would be over. He's been in that situation last inning as well. And he's thrown out 2 base runners, and that is going to be called strike 3, and we are going to the 9th inning. Again, Carl Albert strands base runners, And now it will be Pryor's turn to try to retake the lead here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I'm so hungry I could eat all the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
Okay, guys, Mason Avery is staying in this game here. We don't have an official pitch count, but 9 innings has got to be close. You're right. You heard correctly. This is the top of the 9th inning. Game tied at 1 in what's been a crazy game with some crazy moments, but none of those moments have led to much as far as runs scored. Jordan Ray, Kirk Norman. We're back to the Confident Chevrolet top of the 9th inning. We'll also be back to the top of the batting order for the Pryor Tigers, starting with Riley Hurst. I believe, is this the 4th time through for them?
This is the 4th time through the order. Fourth time through the order for Pryor.
I said earlier I thought this game was going to be played under the lights. I underestimated how long it would take for it to get dark because we're in the 9th inning, still not dark yet, although the lights are on, and that first pitch is called a strike. Well, yeah, you're going to have a late start for Duncan Durant next game. 0-1 pitch, high, ball 1. Does remind me about last year. We had Newcastle on the Oklahoma Sports Network, and they started really late over at Noble High School because of a rain delay, and then the game before went to extra innings as well. That was between Chickasha. Ground ball there, Murphy. Again, so solid there, and he makes a routine play for out number 1, but the finish that shot was Chickasha Elk City, a game that ended on a dropped ball by the third baseman with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Tough way to end a game, but we were just happy that it ended.
Right.
Next up is Gavin Roberts.
Now batting number 3, Gavin Roberts.
These teams got to turn around. I believe play at 1:30 will be the scheduled time. Showing bunt. We haven't seen that much from Pryor. He pulls it back, and it's ball 1.
Roberts was thrown out by Murphy. He had his last at bat. He's 0 for 3 for the day.
1-0 pitch. That's high. Two-0 pitch.
That's in right in.
It's been a gutsy performance from Mason Avery. Can he go 9 innings? At some point, they'll have to pull him. Can show and bunt, but that misses outside. And that's 3-1. Roberts pulled his bat back easily in time. And Pryor could have the go-ahead run at first base here if this is a walk. 3-1. Nice pitch, swung on and missed. Count goes full. Here's Mason's payoff pitch. Lined, but to Bo Davis at third base for out number 2. Now Clinton Stoller, who had understandably had quite the reaction when Mason Avery was hit by a pitch in the 7th inning. He'll be batting now, but he has thrown out 2 base runners this game. They both were the speedy Jordan Hawkins. And that's been big, the fact that they've been able to do that and keep the Carlbert base runners honest. And that pitch is taken for an inside strike.
That was a pretty pitch, actually, right there. That ball had some motion on it. Kind of froze Stoller. Purcell set up on the outside.
Mason's 0-1 pitch. That one is hit in the outfield, deep part of the outfield, but not too deep. Not too deep for the right fielder for Carl Albert. That, of course, is Boston Holland. And that ends the top of the 9th, and we're still deadlocked. 1 apiece.
3 up, 3 down.
Deadlocked at 1 right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
All right, we're back on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It is Carl Albert Titans State Championship Baseball. We are at the bottom of the 9th. I need to update that. I'm still surprised that's where we are. Bottom of the 9th, which means we're in our second extra inning here between the Carl Albert Titans and the Pryor Tigers. Mason Avery, the only pitch he wishes he had back was a solo home run in the top of the 6th inning to Talon Foster. But he has outlasted the starting pitcher for Pryor, that being Jared Bailey, who's pitched more so in and out of jams, and he pitched in 1 jam too many that led to Carl Albert scoring the tying run in the bottom of the 7th on a walk. There was a single, a hit by pitch, an infield single, and then a walk. The walk came with 2 outs. The Titans will make another attempt here to win the game. That will come in the form of Jackson Webster. He got on bases last time, which was good to see him, especially because in the 6th inning on that home run, he hit the wall and hit it hard, and he was down for a bit. But he stayed in the game, and now he's looking to make a big contribution to Carl Albert. He can get on base. He has wheels. Takes that pitch high.
He's been on base 2 times in this is his 4th at bat.
And he's heading to count 2-0. It's the 8-9-1 batters here for Carl Albert that we will see this inning. 2-0 pitch. In there for strike 1.
Webster's got a double in the 5th inning, and a single in the 7th inning.
Took a big hack there and fouled it off. A Bobby Lewis foul ball, and now the count evens 2-2. And these teams got to turn around and play a little earlier tomorrow. Not uncommon for baseball teams to do. 2-2 pitch. That one is turned on and hit foul past the third base side.
Bobby Lewis
foul
insurance.
Yep.
Foul ball.
He's getting his money's worth this game.
Yep.
This is a Buffalo Wild Wings bottom of the 9th inning. Next up for Carl Albert, Lane Sexton, the second baseman, who's, again, where we've seen the Titans shine the most is in the field, and also Mason Avery pitching. And Lane Sexton will be one of those guys who's done that. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Webster. Took it high, count goes full. Titans would love to get a base runner on with no outs, so they have some ways to get him in the scoring position. That pitch is fouled off, another Bobby Lewis foul ball.
8th pitch of this at bat coming up right here.
Here's the payoff delivery. Good eye there from Jackson Webster, and he draws a walk. So he will represent the winning run right here.
Now batting for the Titans, number 7.
And here comes Lane Sexton. Do you think about bunting here?
Lane actually got the bunt down and ended up in a fielder's choice and gave him first base.
He's going to look to bunt again. I think Webster got a late lead, but doesn't matter. It's a Bobby Lewis foul ball on the bunt attempt. They want to get this runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs here. Give the top of the order a chance to bat him in. Will he try to bunt again? He will, and that will stay fair, and that will do the job. They tag him out as the first baseman. Some controversy with how forceful the tag was, I guess, but won't lead to much. As Carter Sloan tags him out.
That advances Jackson Webster.
So the count goes 0-0 now with 1 out. And one of the biggest at-bats, most amazing at-bats of the game was bottom of the 7th inning, Boston Holland drawing that walk. And now he has a chance to win this game with a base hit. After him will be Jordan Hawkins, who struck out his last at-bat. We got a meeting between the catcher, which is Clint Stoller, and the pitcher, Path Killer. Second pitcher used for Pryor. This is for the second inning here he's in. That's Bryce Path Killer. And here we go. Another chance for Carl Albert. They have not done well with runners in scoring positions. No base hits to speak of. And they have stranded a bunch. I don't know the number, but it's a lot.
Holland's got a single and 2 walks on the evening.
And Webster's going to take off as the ball is in the ground. The throw, oh, what a play by the third baseman to save a run.
Man.
Sergio Benulos. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name. Benulos. And he has had an amazing game at third base. He's been in on some interesting plays here. If that ball got by him, this game's
probably over. That ball got by, that game's done.
Yeah. But Jackson Webster does get to third. And now with a 1-0 count, Holland just needs to hit one to the outfield. Infield comes in. Good pitch there for Path Killer, and it's strike 1.
Yeah.
Count goes 1-1. Again, the infield playing in. They'll throw to home if they get something. The runner takes off, the runner being Webster. Oh, swung on and missed at a pitch, maybe out of the zone there.
It was out of the zone, and it was low.
Boy, you just hope for Carl Albert that Holland can somehow put this ball in play in a key place that would allow for this run to score. But now he's down the count 1-2. He's got to protect the plate. That pitch is outside for a ball.
You know, one of the things that you have happen when your defense comes in that deep on the grass, a hard hit ball gets past you that fast, and so you don't have the ability to get that throw.
That ball is popped up and it stays in the infield. A big out for the Pryor, as that is taken by the second baseman Trace Crawford for out 2, and that's kind of symbolic of what's been like for Carl Albert, as they just cannot get that runner from third in, with one exception.
Again, we talk about it all the time.
Yep.
Base hit scores runs, and we just have not. We've been getting under the ball. I could go through here and count, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 flyouts.
That pitch is low for Jordan Hawkins, who struck out his last at bat. He had a chance to win the game for Carl Albert if he got on base in any way, but he struck out. So now he'll have a chance to atone for that here. Takes the 1-0 pitch for a strike.
The infield has moved back.
Yeah, with 2 outs. That's what you expect.
Yep.
And that's it right to second baseman. Just needs a good throw here. They get the good throw, and Pryor gets out of the inning. We are going to the 10th right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titans State Championship Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And you're reading that correctly. This says in the right part of the scorebug, you see on the top right of your screen, top of the 10th. And Mason Avery is still pitching. This is like Jack Morris in Game 7 of the 91 World Series. Seeing a starting pitcher pitch in the 10th inning is an amazing thing.
I've got him at 99 pitches right now. So
Brock Ward will lead off.
He's got 21 pitches left.
He's been very economical. A lot of innings were less than 20 for him. That's how he's able to get to this point. And he gets a strike. Now Purcell didn't catch it, but it really doesn't matter with no one on base. So strike one. Again, Mason Avery's rarely been in any kind of jam. Strike two. I don't think he's allowed 2 base runners at any point.
That was a nice curveball there as it was leaving the side.
He has given up a solo home run. That's the only blemish. And what's otherwise been tremendous. That one is lined to right field. It's going to drop. Base hit for Pryor. Good hitting there. And now Benuelos, Sergio Benuelos, who saved the game a couple times for.
Outside of a walk, that's been the first base runner that has been on base since the 6th inning.
Since that home run, yeah.
Yep.
Sergio Benuelos, who had an amazing play, saving a run, a diving catch of a ball thrown by the catcher when Jackson Webster was taken third. See if Pryor may look to bunt here.
Whiteley's going to come in now, and they're going to take the ball. Great job. You've really got to give Mason Avery a hand. He has really pitched his tail off this whole game.
Now, will he come back out at catcher? Given how long he's pitched, wouldn't expect him to. But just because you're seeing Jason Purcell standing right now, it may just be to field pitches for the next catcher. We're going to take a quick break right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never going to happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item, and
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. 1 for you, 1 for him, and 1 for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Welcome back to Carl Albert Titan State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network. An interesting series of moves by Coach Whiteley. He's bringing in his second ace. He does not want to mess around here. That means Declan Murphy is pitching. So the moves, we believe, look like this. With Declan pitching, the DH, Nate Dellenplank, will move to shortstop. He'll come out of his DH spot. And then Mason Avery will stay in the game, and he is now catching, as he normally does. He normally catches Declan Murphy, and he's doing so right now. And I've wondered if something like this might happen, Kirk, if Pryor will think, hey, we'll see if Mason's got much of an arm right now at catcher. They do have a base runner.
It's a different throw. I mean, yeah. I know that I don't think they'd necessarily try that. Him coming out of there and throwing, it's a different throw.
Now what's interesting is if the Titans somehow win, how many pitches will it take Declan Murphy, and would he be available at any point in the state tournament? But it makes it seem like he would not pitch tomorrow if there is a tomorrow. But there's got to be a tomorrow first. Sergio Benuelos, who's had an amazing game at third base. Will he bunt here? He shows bunt. Good pitch from Declan, strike 1. Declan, of course, pitched in Carl Albert's last game, a 1-0 shutout that went to the bottom of the 7th against Lawton MacArthur. So he's pitched in some stressful situations just recently. Can show and bunt, and again a strike, and now it should take the bunt off the table. So Nate Dellenplank's ready for, after sitting on the bench while Carl Albert's pitching for this entire game. They hope he's ready to field. Murphy goes to first base. But Ward gets back there easily. 0-2 pitch high. Not really a pitch out, but Mason Avery looked towards first, looked the runner back. No throw, though. Count goes 1-2. Should be having on now Newcastle. They're playing in their 4A game over at Norman North on the Oklahoma Sports Network. That one is fouled off, out of play. Bobby Lewis foul ball. Count stays 1-2. Declan's 1-2 delivery. That one is turned on. It's in foul territory. Well, towards the Pryor bullpen, but definitely foul. No chance to make a play there. It's a Bobby Lewis foul ball. We'll do it again. 1-2 pitch. High. Count evens, 2-2.
Seventh pitch of this at bat. Declan's kind of settling in a little.
Oh, he hit him. Didn't want to do that. And that puts the go-ahead run in scoring position for Pryor, and they may try to bunt now again.
Carter Sloan's coming to bat. He's 0 for 3 this evening. 2 strikeouts.
Wow, it was in the count was Declan Murphy 0-2, and then the hit by pitch there after a couple of balls and some foul balls, and now this is a real tough situation. Sloan, as expected, shows bunt. As expected, he gets it. They go to second. Good play by Jordan Hawkins to get the trail runner there. But the lead runner, of course, gets to third. So Benuelos is out. Ward's at third. And we got runners at the corners now and 1 out.
That was a fielder's choice there. Runners at the corners.
And Jordan Hawkins shows he's really a true middle infielder playing first base there.
Everything is still on the table, though, here for Pryor.
So Bailey's DHing now, the starting pitcher for Pryor. He's not pitching anymore. Takes a big hack there for strike 1.
At this point, a long fly ball is going to score a run.
Declan Murphy probably in a more stressful situation than he was in at any point against Lawton MacArthur.
Oh, 100%.
Has to really deliver here. The runner at third, less than 2 outs. He is ahead in the count now 0-1. Now 0-2.
This is exactly what Declan needs to do. He needs to K this kid and get it to 2 outs. He's really got to pay attention to the plate.
So here's the 0-2 pitch to Bailey. Line drive, base hit, Pryor leads. 0-2 pitch, Bailey comes through. And once again, Pryor is 3 outs away from a victory. Boy, the 2-strike pitching for Mason just hasn't yielded the results he was hoping for. Now he's got to try to limit the damage to 1 run. So Jared Bailey, who will not be the winning pitcher, may be the winning hitter. As Trace Crawford comes to the plate now, looking to add something that I'm sure Pryor wants badly right now, insurance runs. Will he show bunt? Nope. But he still has a chance with the count now 1-0. Jordan Hawkins is playing in at first. 1-0 pitch. Chopper to Hawkins. He'll take the out at first, but that advances the runners as if you were bunting. So we now have runners at second and third, 2 outs. So Carl Albert needs to limit this damage now with them trailing 2-1. And didn't update the scoreboard, now it's there.
It's really important here on this out. We really, with the way things have been playing out, we've had a chance at 1. We haven't had a chance at more than that.
Talon Foster, who hit a home run in the top of the 6th inning. That's kept Pryor in this game. They had the lead there and tries to give him one here. Pop fly, right center field. Devontae Jones comes in and finishes the inning for Carl Albert. But another run scored for Pryor. We head to the bottom of the 10th, a 1-run game, Pryor over Carl Albert, right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
Welcome back to the bottom of the 10th inning right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Let me clear some things out. There's now 0 outs. No one on base. Carl Albert has 3 outs to work with. They will have their 3, 4, and 5 hitter up. This inning, of course, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City. Buy one, get one deals every Tuesday and Thursday. Or sorry, say buy one, get one 50% off at Buffalo Wild Wings every Tuesday and Thursday. And Nate Dellenplank will lead things off. He now is playing shortstop.
Dellenplank is 1 for 4 tonight with a single in the 6th inning. He has not seen Path Killer, so this is his first time. And that was a high ball 1.
Path Killer pitched very well in relief. He's gotten a couple jams, but he's pitched well in those circumstances. Oh, and look, big hack there by Dellenplank on a pitch that was probably high. So that pitch also high. I mean,
yeah, but he didn't swing at that one.
Yeah, if he keeps throwing there, don't bail him out. 2-1 pitch.
That was foul back.
Again, Dellenplank with a massive swing there. Will just be a Bobby Lewis foul ball and strike 2.
Path Killer coming with the pitch.
And that goes inside. Woo! That's the lowest pitch he's thrown this inning. Count goes full. Dellenplank.
All right, Deli.
Maybe a chance to draw a walk this.
Watch
we'll
this.
See what he does here. And he
outside,
takes ball
he's
4.
He's going to take the walk.
So he took a couple of aggressive swings, but when he had to be patient, he was. And he will represent the tying run at first base.
Bo Davis coming up.
The cleanup hitter. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound for Pryor. We'll see if this
Bo Davis,
the pitching change,
did get a single in the 9th inning.
And we're going to have a pitching change. Okay, we'll get an idea of who this will be. This is going to be a massive moment here coming up.
I think they're bringing in Gavin Roberts, it looks like, the shortstop.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll check and see what the lineup is like, the fielders are like for Pryor. You're watching Carl Albert Titan State Tournament Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits. You hear my belly growling?
Yep. I'm going to need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger.
And we're back on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're at the bottom of the 10th, but this field has never looked brighter, Kirk. It's kind of funny because we're almost at 8 o'clock.
Right.
But the pitching change for Pryor looks like this. So Brent Weggington will come in at third base. He's the freshman. They're going to move the third baseman, Banuelos, to shortstop, and the shortstop, Gavin Roberts, is the pitcher, pitching to Bo Davis. Pryor 3 outs away. Carl Albert looking to spoil it again like they did in the bottom of the 7th. Well, that angle the sun is at right now is amazing. So here's Roberts' first pitch. That's way outside, and that's going to take. Dylan Plank still needs to hustle in, but he does get to second as on the carom. That ball got back quickly to Stoller, who already threw out 2 base runners. He didn't really have a chance on that one, but he did make a throw. And just like that, the Titans have a man scoring position. Nobody out. They mostly have not been able to capitalize on those type of situations. It's 1-0 now. Roberts, that's pitch is low and outside. Count now goes 2-0.
If you're Bo Davis, I think you want to sit here and watch.
I agree.
I don't, and he doesn't even look like he's interested. So I think that's a smart thing.
2-0 pitch. So he swings at that. That probably was a strike.
That one did come in. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a Bobby Lewis foul ball and strike 1. I mean, we would have been called a strike. Wouldn't be surprised. I don't really know a whole lot about Pryor. Wouldn't be surprised if Roberts is one of their starting pitchers too.
Oh,
swing and a miss, but that's going to get Dylan Plank to third. So here again is an interesting situation where Carl Albert just hasn't executed. Runner at third, nobody out. I've had that situation a couple of times, or one out, and just haven't delivered.
That's exactly right. We've had a man in scoring position. We've had a man on third 3 times. Actually 4 times in this game.
Now Bo Davis needs to protect this plate. Well, there's been 2 wild pitches, and now Davis will call for time.
Two and 2. As you said, Jordan, Davis has got to protect the plate here. But only protect what's coming.
2 and 2, and he stays alive.
Got just a piece of that, barely.
Bobby Lewis foul ball. We'll do it again at 2 and 2.
What a game.
Yeah, the Thunder's game has started. Please watch us anyway. That game's only just now got going. Two and 2. Ground ball, but the base runner will stay. And a good play by the new shortstop.
Well, that's
Banuelos.
Yeah, that's the old third baseman there.
Yeah, new shortstop, but not new to fielding balls.
Right.
He's really good on defense. And once again, Carl Albert couldn't come through there.
6-3 ground out. 1 out now. Got to get the ball through the infield just to tie it up.
Devontae Jones, it's now up to him.
1 out, the infield's in on the grass. Devontae struck out his last time at bat. He takes the ball.
I don't recall him hitting the ball hard this game.
He's 0 for 4 right now.
And he fouls that one. One and 1 now to count. Can Jones deliver? The senior. Played big for him last year. He swings and misses. He's down to his final strike. And we're now seeing Gavin Roberts get some rhythm. The Pryor pitcher. Declan Murphy on deck. He's going to get in bat here. 1-2 pitch.
Caught a little bit of that.
Stays alive.
There is no wind blowing in the outfield at all. The flag is, for the first time today, is just literally hanging.
Strikeout.
Struck him out.
Wow. So with no one out and a runner at third, Carl Albert proceeds to hit a ground ball right to shortstop that would not score a run and strike out. And now they're down to their final out. But Declan Murphy's hit the ball well this game.
Got a double his last time at bat into left field.
And he gave up the winning, or go-ahead run. We'll see if it becomes the winning run. So takes a strike there. So you know Declan Murphy does not want that to be it for his career, or it ends where he gave up the go-ahead base hit. But he's down the count now, 0-1. That now goes 1-1 as that was low, almost in the dirt. Again, we got a runner at third here because Carl Albert drew a walk within 2 wild pitches. So something to look out for. That may be a way they can tie this thing up. That one is
that may be
foul. No, it's in fair play.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of sunlight, but it's going to be caught for an out by Trace Crawford, and that will do it. The season ends for Carl Albert. There will be no three-peat, and they lose a heartbreaker in extra innings. That were 3 extra innings for high school baseball.
Was a great game played by both teams, and Pryor just outlasted Carl Albert there in the 10th inning and was able to get that score around. And so Carl Albert will be going home, and as you said, there will be a new state champion for 5A baseball this year.
Well, now I'm pulling for Elgin, and they'll play tomorrow on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Wish Crawford would play after them, but they just couldn't get the big hit when they needed it.
Could not make it happen.
Yeah. So real quick, thank you, Kirk, for joining me here. This was
thank
a fun
you for
day.
inviting me.
Yeah. Always glad to call a baseball game with you. We want to thank our sponsors one last time before we go off the air. We'll try to make this quick. Patrick Newby, our strikeout sponsor. They're your local Oklahoma Farmers Insurance Agency in Midwest City. They're family-owned and operated and have been serving the public for over 40 years. They're located off of 29th and Air Depot near Tinker Air Force Base. Come by and see them at 560 West Bowling Drive, Suite A. Give them a call at 405-733-7671. Bobby Lewis, our foul ball sponsor, we thank him. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations serve you in Choctaw at 405-281-6700, Del City 405-670-3665. We also want to thank our inning sponsors. You see Buffalo Wild Wings, located at 5500 Tinker Diagonal. Buffalo Wild Wings offers buy one, get one wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday. Confidence Chevrolet is our other inning sponsor. From oil changes to major repairs, they service all makes and models. Visit them at the 6100 Tinker Diagonal in Midwest City. Exit at Hudeberg Exit. Confidence is Cavender. And finally, they've been with us for a while at different stuff. Triple Elite Screen Printing, Instant Replay. Triple Elite, found world-class design and hot new styles. Well, I don't know if it's still going on, but tune in if you can to Newcastle playing Salisaw. Watch Bethany tomorrow take on one of the mightiest teams in 4A, Blanchard. Watch Elgin play in the state tournament, taking on, and I forgot the team.
Elgin will be taking on
Noble. Yeah,
right.
okay. So long ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we thank you for watching. We thank you for being with us for Middale Baseball this year. Another fun year of calling games. And our next Middale broadcast will be football. Kirk, we look forward to that coming up in August. All right, until then, for Kirk Norman, I'm Jordan Ray. Thanks again for watching Middale Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma